Hi, this is Derek Tsai from LearnByBlogging.com. Today I want to give you a review of this book called Yes Please by Amy Pohler. She is a Saturday Night Live or ex-Saturday Night Live actress, and she wrote this book about a little memoir book about herself and how she became successful as she was. There are quite a few good quotes. By the way, I don't have the book with me because I was reading the book pretty much from an ebook, and so I don't have the book with me. But anyway, before I start, today is Chinese New Year. Today, February 19th, 2015, Chinese New Year. I'm dressing like a real Chinese gentleman, and I want to wish you happiness in the new year, and 恭喜发财. 恭喜发财 stand for wishing you happiness and may you prosper in the new year. So I wish you a happy new year in the year of sheep or ram or goat. Chinese, this is more like a sheep family, so you can, whatever sheep is will be relevant to the years in the Chinese zodiac. Okay, there are quite a few good quotes on the book. One sentence is that we should stop asking people in their 20s what they want to do and start asking them what they don't want to do. And you tell people the good things, and diaries are for the bad things, how true that is. And decide what your currency is early and let go of what you will never have. Very good advice. And people who do this are happier and sexier. And she joked that the SNL Hair Stylist once told her that she had a great place for wigs. Got a very good sense of humor. And she is very good at improvising and writing. And and she said that I was never to this or not enough of that. Every week on Saturday Night Live, I had the opportunity to write whatever I wanted, and then I was allowed to edit it. And writing gave me the incredible amount of power, and my currency became what I wrote and said and did. So that is her currency. So keep track of your own currency and know that early in your life. Very good advice for young people. And her gynecologist, that was an interesting tidbit. Her gynecologist actually died the day before she went into labor, and very unfortunately and ironic. And this happened when she was doing the Hillary Clinton versus Sarah Palin and Saturday Night Live sketch. And Sarah Palin actually rapped the week that she gave birth. And in the book, there are a few inserts by her friends like Seth Meyers about the SNL sketch with Sarah Palin rap, and her mother about her birth. So she got some interesting story from her parents and nice perspective from other people. So it's good to always insert some other people's opinion in your memoir. And one thing I learned is that the comedy is really hard work. Doing comedy for a living is a lot of work, this quote unquote, like a pony and camel trying to escape from the zoo. It's a ridiculous endeavor and has a low probability of success. But more importantly, it's way easier if you have a friend. As a comedian, she occasionally went overboard and had to apologize, like the case when she joked about the disabled girl, and she didn't write that, but she didn't know what she was doing. A word about apologizing. That's a good comment. It's hard to do without digging yourself in deeper. It's also scary, and that's why we avoided the pain. And we want to so badly to plead our case and to tell our story. The bad news is that Everybody has a story, and everyone has a version of how things went down and how they participated. So it's hard to untangle facts and feelings. Very true statement. And also she mentioned that every performer has to figure out what feels right. And so that's interesting, very, very good advice. And about divorce, she quoted Louis C.K. that divorce is always good news because no good marriage ever ended in divorce. So that's a blessing in disguise. And she referenced a few of her favorite books about divorce, and you can find out what all the books that has exclamation mark at the end. And she didn't talk much about her own divorce of 10-year marriage, though. On aging, she talked about quote, fighting aging is like a war on drugs. Good metaphor. It's expensive, does more harm than good, has been proven to never end. Getting older makes you somewhat invisible. Interesting. So you're better at observing the situation. The moment people start looking at you less is when you actually start be able to see through people more. Learning from the older friends is I'm interested in people who swim in the deep end, and I want to have conversation with real things with people who have experienced real things. A sign of maturity, that is. Young people can remind us to take chances and be angry and to stop our patterns. And old people can remind us to laugh more and get focused and make friends with our patterns. Okay. She took a lot of she took improv lessons from Shauna and Del Close. Those are the legendary teacher in the improv world. And she met Tina Fey in the class and performed the Women of Color. She did her work touring as a Second City member across Texas and many towns with very low pay, and Upright Citizens Brigade. That's the group that she was associated with. We were young and foolish and didn't know what we were up against. And being foolish is the smartest thing to do. So just like Steve Jobs says, they want to be a little bit foolish. And also Amy had a lot of imagination ever since the childhood. And that explains why she became a comedian. And she lived a very normal, loving, middle-class family. And because of that, she needed to create her own drama, like handcuffing herself with a friend when she was in 4th grade. Very funny story about that. She also enjoyed reading the tragedy porn. She would read terrible story to punish myself for lucky life and some real deep Irish Catholic thing. Okay, so that's kind of her interest. And Amy was hired on Saturday Night Live in August 2001, which is just a month before the 9/11. And she was forced to do comedy in a city that is battered and still on fire. So while avoiding being killed by anthrax. So there goes to tell you that sometimes you want to start in a career in such a situation could be very challenging. And about being a mother, Amy complained about people asking her, "I don't know how you do it," and what she heard is that I don't know how you could do it, making her feel guilty and overwhelmed. I think that a lot of the famous people have a similar feeling. I never thought about it that way, and she did disclose that she got a full-time nanny, or she called it wife. And then she talked about sex. She gave a few advices. I like the number 6 is that get better at dirty talk, and might help. And number 11, laugh a lot. Try new things with someone you love. Good advice. Awards, or she phrased as puddings, were elusive to her in the beginning, and she was competing with a lot of people. And I like her practical joke of organizing every nominee in her category to fake winning the award and have them come to the platform and trying to receive the award. And that was very hilarious. And that was before, and she really had the fun doing that. So Amy worked so hard, based on what I have read. Amy worked so hard throughout her life, including serving the ice cream in the local parlor, just like every teenager's, waitressing, and she actually coined the phrase, how a person treats her waitress is a great indication of their character. And well, I'll give you a guilt trip if you don't leave a fat tip. And this was followed by doing gigs as a comedian before her career really took off on SNL. And so she did have a put in her time to get to where she is now. And nothing is accident. And like every successful people, they actually work very hard on it. And treat your career. I like this particular paragraph. I treat your career like a real bad boyfriend. Good or bad, the reality is that most people become famous or get great jobs after a very, very long tenure of shoveling shit. And the reality is that most career advancement is from referral. And try to care less, practice ambivalence. Learn to let go of wanting it, and treat your career like a bad boyfriend. So career is like stringing together opportunities and jobs, and career is something that fools you into thinking that you are in control, and then takes the pleasure in reminding you that you aren't in control. Career is a thing that will not fill you and will never make you whole. So very good tip about career. I think I feel the same way, and this is something that I think all the young people should learn from these lessons. By distinguish from the creativities. Now, she talked about creativity. Creativity is connected to your passion, the light inside you that drives you, the joy that comes when you do something you love, and the small voice that tells you, I like this, do it again. You are good at it, and keep going. She drew the analogy of creativity like a real warm, older Hispanic lady who has a beautiful laugh and loves so much. Interesting metaphor about career versus creativities. And ambivalence is the key to success. Wow, that's very powerful to me. It's a little contradictory, it's a little bit difficult to understand, but I think that's pretty much true. It's powerful and so true. You have to really care about how good you are and how good you feel, but not how good people think you are or how good people think you look. Very good advice. She talked a lot about her role in the Park and Recreation series and how it came about after the end of this SNL career. And because of this book, I actually watched a few episodes on Netflix of this Park and Recreation. She went a step further talking about the show and the show business. And that's another opener for people who wanted to go into show business. The pros and cons of all the players in the show business, the actor, the writer, the director, and the producer. Very good insight. And people who want to go into show business or trying to pick your career, this is something that might be worthwhile to read. And she will offer some tidbit about time travel. She claimed that she does this in her own way, using drugs, and also she talked about her two boys, about being a moon junkie, really fascinated about moon, and her charity involvement in the WWO and visiting all the orphanages, and ended in the book on her love and hate relationship with the cell phone. It was not it's almost like an improv skit. So Overall, this is a very good book to read if you like comedy and curious about how comedians become successful, and if you simply like the story of a very hard-working woman doing what she loves with a great passion and creativities and succeeded in it. And you get some laugh as well, and why not? It's a pretty good book. So there you have it. That's the a book review of this Yes Please by Amy Pohler. Thanks for watching. Bye now.